How is the club scene in Singapore with live bands?
Um, Live bands as in normal bands or
Yeah, the hardcore,
the
heavy
hardcore
metal.
bands. There are a few clubs here. Once in a while, they do have cater to these kind of shows. But yeah, like some other countries, they let us use the place maybe from the afternoon till 9. Then the club goes business as usual after that. But um, if the show is good enough, they might not open the club just for that day, or it's a night just for the underground bands to perform. Um, People do try, club owners do try to help out, but it doesn't last long. After 3 to 6 months, if it doesn't make money, then they just keep doing what they used to do, open the clubs for like those clubbers and not for the bands at all. Then we just have to move and find a new place. For us, as long as there's place where we can play, we don't mind, we can play anywhere.
About how many bands are there in Singapore doing the loud music, the hardcore, the metal, the thrash?
I think nowadays there are hundreds, maybe 200 bands, 300 bands. I don't know, but the scene is vibrant. If you combine all kinds of genre under the underground scene, it's really big. Yeah, it's really big.
Really big, but they don't have their own venue for the live music.
Because it's just like that. If the local media or the local, your country doesn't support this kind of music, there's no way. You just have to do things by yourself, like you used to. We were still DIY as we were before. There were, maybe we were lucky enough to, like 10-15 years ago, Stomping Ground managed to play in art festivals and stuff, but sometimes most of the time they don't really support this kind of thing. But we have the Esplanade here, which focus a lot of local bands, and it's a good thing. But still, I mean, the real ones, the really underground bands, the bands that always were unaccepted, and the bands that are true, who doesn't want to compromise. I want to play this kind of music. I want my crowd to enjoy themselves. They want to slam dance. They want to do whatever. So that kind of bands and that kind of gigs, we have to do it ourselves, because we do not want to compromise and follow the rules of venues. They might let us play, but there are rules, and we don't want that kind of rules. And the point is to do it as cheap as possible, because we have kids, school kids to older people who come to our gigs, and school kids might not be able to afford, those kind of venue, and it's about playing in a band with the crowd, for the right reasons. It's the underground. It's supposed to be like that,
Is there a future for the hardcore in Singapore?
I don't know, because the question was asked like 15 years ago, and nothing hasn't changed much. So I don't really expect that, whether there's a future or not, we don't care. But with the power of the internet now, bands get gigs easily from other countries, our neighbors. So that, for me, that is the future we were looking for last time, and I think that is quite an achievement. I mean, there is this local thing that unless you get big in other countries, then you won't get big in your own country. You have to become big in other country first for you to get so popular until you're local. it's just how it works here in Singapore, and it's kind of sad. But for me and the other people who are still doing it, I don't think we care. You know, we still have our own following here in our neighboring countries. We are already happy. You know, yeah.
So the internet is the internet is really helping out the scene here in Singapore.
Yeah, it's a really powerful tool. You know, with the power of internet, you know, actually we haven't had a chance to get a lot of real hardcore bands to play here before we discovered MySpace. MySpace helped us to get bands like Sick of It All to come here, Comeback Kid, all those big hardcore names, you know, to come down in Asia. And we have networking here with Malaysian and Indonesian counterparts, which, you know, would help to make them have a short Asian tour, which is probably more affordable and cheaper. You see, before that we don't know how to get them. We don't know how to contact them. But with the power of MySpace and internet, you know, you just can PM them, message them as, hey, you guys want to play here, you know, that kind of thing is so much more easier. And now because of a lot of good bands came here for the last 2 years, we managed to put our scene on the map, you know. So that is the future of our scene right now. I mean, this is it. For me, this is already an achievement. I don't look forward to any more bigger things. You know, being able to get good bands to play here, being able to get our bands to open up these big bands already, you know, it's a good portfolio. You know.
Okay. What were the bands that personally influenced you?
Oh, a lot. I guess Sick of It All will be definitely one of them. And bands like Turning Point, OC bands like Instead. There's a lot of hardcore bands. Youth of Today, Judge. But I'm a diversified listener. You know, I get inspired from a lot of kinds of genre, including rock, heavy metal, and pop. You know, I hear it gives me that capability to have my original sound, because I just believe if I hear too much of hardcore music, I might sound just exactly like another hardcore band. So from a personal point of view, for me and some of my band members, we listen to variety of music to get. So if you want to ask me which bands influence me, hardcore, yes, it's like bands like Sick of It All, but there are many other bands besides hardcore that inspire me. A lot of I started listening to music in the 70s, so you know, I went from rock to heavy metal, then after that to punk, post-punk, to hardcore. You know, bands like Black Flag, Bad Brains, Corrosion of Conformity. I mean, those really early bands, Suicidal Tendencies, yeah.